Hey everybody, how's it going out there? Welcome back to the stream. My name is FullQ Developer and we build apps on stream. And recently we've been working on a sample app for our open source authentication library called FQAuth. It's on my GitHub and my GitHub is accessible from my website. Hey, welcome to the channel. Welcome back to the happy Monday, everybody. Welcome back to the channel, Bruce Leaf. Here's the website for FQAuth in its current state. We're getting really close to having a alpha or beta release, whatever you want to call it, depending on how much we get done today. But I would say definitely by the end of the week. Never say definitely though. Yeah, so first, a few announcements. Over the weekend, I published Swish XE Assets. It's a little helper for generating all of the app icons from an SVG for your new app. If you just have an SVG editor like Inkscape, or I think a lot of different apps can export as SVG, you can just import this little library and add it as a dependency to your little target, and then maybe it'll look something like this. You give it you say the path to your SVG icon, and then you give it an output dir, and it'll render it. And I can show you what it renders as. If we go to the actions, we can go to the CI, we can go to the latest run, and we can download the sample assets into our downloads folder, which comes out as a zip file. You can see it's the whole app icon set with the sample app icon and all the different sizes. And the JSON is here too. So if you just point this to your app directory, your app is good to go. I found this really helpful, especially for getting a new app off the ground, because you need an app icon to push to the App Store, and I just want something, right? I just want something so I can start trying the app on my phone. And this little tool will help with that. Another little announcement is we put up a new website for our Subway app up upon the web, and sort of highlighting this one review, this one little marriage proposal review, and we even do responsive. So very proud of the new look. I think it's at least 3 times better than the previous look. And also, we're getting really close to the tie stream. We're about 1 more follow away on YouTube, and what's this, 23 more follows away on Twitch. So it looks like this will be the next stream, possibly, which would be Wednesday. I'm out tomorrow. The schedule is posted to my Mastodon. Oops, didn't mean to do Command N there. Meant to do Command N here. The schedule is here. So this week it's Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday we're going to do the whatever's on our mind at the time. Okay, with all those announcements out of the way. Oh, and as Bruce Leaf kind of showed off in chat, I did make some more emotes over the weekend. We have FullQ Clear the Way, and we have FullQ. I redid the Curious one. I think this looks a little bit better. And FullQ Flow. And I redid the colors on Succeed and Stuck. I think they match the rest of the colors a little bit better now. Cool. So Yes, and there's also the full Q Liberty. That's my current take on the Statute of Freedom in 1865. I wonder what else happened in 1865 that statue might commemorate. But yeah, we did it, and it's here in New York. So with all those out of the way, let's hop into finishing our tests from, I guess Thursday was our most recent session on this. And of course, the VODs are up on the YouTube. So here's our test file. Where did we leave off? Let's see, I just hit Command U and they're all passing, so I didn't leave a clue for myself on what we were doing. Looks like we want to re-verify these tests, re-verify the token at some point. Right, because currently we are getting a token from the auth server, and then we are storing it in the keychain. And oh, I have some flow diagrams I can show for this on the GitHub. Let's go to the initial branch. Still kind of in any kind of pre-release. Documentation. Is this the right one? Oh, this is the one that we did previously. Well, I guess this shows the basic flow of hitting the auth server and the database and Apple and all that. Do we have, maybe it's this one? No, that's the basic architecture. Yeah, I guess I don't have a picture for what we're doing today. Basically, the token that we get back from the server, we want to confirm that it's still valid every once in a while on the client side, because a token expires, and we want to either force a refresh or sign them out if they can't refresh, to protect our users. And I have my water, but I do not have my tea. I see it right there. One moment. Okay, so we got our tea, we got our water. We know what we're doing. We just can't remember exactly where we were in this process. Let's see. Did we leave open? We have a fixture. We have the controller. We have a fake verifier, a fake keychain, a fake URL session. In the app, do we have like a timer set up yet? Let's see, app dot this thing. We have a few dependencies, but we don't have a... Oh, we do have a revalidate current auth periodically. What does this do? It says on significant time change and basically on launch, reverify. And reverify, it gets a possible current token. If there's no token, we're already signed out, so there's no need to sign out. And then we call verify, and if the verification fails, then we sign out. I wonder if I should sign out here, just in case. And also, I wonder if this should be like an actor. Can actors be observable objects? Do we get like nice type safe stuff? It can be an observable object? That's cool. Actor isolated property cannot be mutated from a non-isolated context. Can I make a task here? Oh, then we have to check if this is even here. Call can throw, you bet it can. But here we don't care, we'll just try question mark. Cool, now we'll get the compiler's help with the async stuff here. And what's your problem? Oh, this needs a task around it. And this needs an await. And this is on sign in. So here we actually do need to take care of the throw. Although actually, I think we don't have to run this on the main actor anymore. We might have to, I'm not sure. We have a few more awaits to put in. Oh, interesting. This was something I wasn't expecting. Await in a function does not support concurrency. So how do I await? How do I observe changes on this and have it trickle out into the body? Oh, isn't it like a for loop or something? Because it's like an async sequence or something like that. Let's see if I can remember or discover. Await SwiftUI observe, I guess. Yeah, that's the easy one. That's on appear. I want to like always be watching it. And these kick off stuff. And then the post ends. Observe actor published. This guy says, do not use an actor for your SwiftUI data models. Oh, it's even updated recently. Okay. What does Paul have to say here? However, should I use an actor for my SwiftUI data? Let me tell you the answer as clear as I can. Actually, a really bad choice for any data model to use in SwiftUI. anything that conforms to observable object. Oh, well, thank you, Paul. I guess I can just go ahead and revert all that. And let's read Y, I guess. Updates the user interface on the main actor, which means when we make a class conform to an observable object, we're agreeing that all our work will happen on the main actor. As an example, anytime we modify a published property, that must happen on the main actor. Oh, so I guess what I'm guessing he's about to say is that, so our work is already synchronized on the main actor anyway. Now think about what would happen if you tried to use a custom actor for your data. Not only would any data writes need to happen on that actor rather than the main actor, thus forcing the UI to update away from the main actor, but any data reads would need to happen there too. Every time you tried to bind a string to a text field, for example, you'd be asking Swift to simultaneously use the main actor and your custom actor, which doesn't make sense, says Paul. The current solution is to use a class that conforms to an observable object, then annotate it with main actor to ensure it does any UI work safely. You can create a sibling actor that does not use main actor, but does not directly update the UI. Oh. Okay, that was really helpful, Paul. Thank you. Right, so this is still, I need to still say await here. What's going on, Xcode? Oh, because I see. It's because this is not on the main actor, which is true. We don't want to do networking on the main actor. So yes, we'll await. Oh, so this is from putting at main actor on our type. And these are all like methods that it's calling. I think I'm okay with all of these. Build failure? Okay, so this is, now we're in tests, okay. So we'll just make our test async. What a pal, that guy, Paul. That was really helpful. Whoa, we await an initializer? We can't await inside of, oh, come on, SwiftUI. We are awaiting an init here. And I guess the same thing, let's copy and paste that. And, oh, this is another test that we need to await. Can we await in a setup with error? Do these have async counterparts? Let's see, setup, Command F, Command F, set up. Let's see, XC test async setup. A subclass of XC test case. Oh, so this guy, Matt, made his own. Not really sold on that idea. Let's come back to what we were doing, see if we can take a closer look and be inspired somehow. Because we could just set these up in the test and then we don't have to worry about it. Because it does muddy up the test a little bit, so I see what Matt's doing there. Oh, build succeeded, by the way. That's nice. Let's command U. Let's run all the tests. And something I learned recently is that it actually does make sense to null out your stuff in teardown, because otherwise it'll just stay in memory, because each test apparently stays in memory. Did anyone else know this? Each test stays in memory even after the test is done running. Yeah, I don't know if I'm being trolled or not, but somebody told me that, so... how could we verify this? It's going to be really hard to verify without a profiler, I guess. I mean, these are super small. This is not going to affect performance either way. For this case, I'm just, I guess, more curious about, has anyone else heard this about this or anything before? Okay, so I guess our test was saying, coming back to our test for the current auth controller, test reverify signs out when verification failed. Looks like that's passing, yeah, assert nil on the current auth for the keychain and the auth. Bruce Leaf says, I thought tests were ran multiple times or something, but I forget. I think you can set that up, but that's not something that I have done. Edit scheme, test, options, diagnostics, info, options. You can randomize execution order. Maybe in a test plan it'll do it. I still haven't learned much about test plans. Oh, okay. I remember where we left off. This is failing, but it shouldn't. It's what am I trying to say? We're setting this up to be empty, and so of course it's nil at the end. So this does nothing on success. That's a different test. Let's put it down here. And this should actually be test reverify does nothing when keychain is empty. And let's undo that. So this is this test down here. Let's move it down and clean it up down here. Oh, I just swapped the names. Okay. Fix the names real quick. Command X and paste. Yeah, it does nothing when keychain is empty. We have an empty keychain. Yeah, so that is correct. Now here, test is verify on, does nothing on success. So we need something that's actually going to be successful. And I see this is what we were trying to set up. We were trying to set up a successful keychain here. We were trying to add a stub here that would say, given a token, say that it's successful. And yeah, that's that's why I ran out of brain juice. Current authorization has no member sample one. Oh, I see. Oh, and this isn't even the right sample, right? This needs to be renamed. This has to be yeah, because this has multiple multiple things that it's sampling. Yeah, this is where we were. We're making a new current authorization sample, and where do we have those? Right here. Something like that. In case sample one. Oh, this should be self. Okay, yeah. So we need to figure out how we're gonna get some samples that we can use here. We could grab one from the phone. We could see if there's another test that we're using that we could grab something from. Could we create one? Possibly. Let's see. Let's get this thing. Let's see. .self. Let's get this thing compiling. Guess this should be sample one. dot decoded. Yeah, I do like this version better. Let's update our fixture to match that. I can just do a quick refactor here. Oh, I don't need to do the switch at all. Okay. I don't need to do that. Which means I don't need this return statement. But I will put a new line there. I think that looks a little bit better. Yeah, so this will fail for now. We are still getting there. So this is the fixture now. Yeah, we had an unhelpful name before. Okay, so what's our error here? So this is JWKS fixtures. Right? Or rejects JWKS when empty when loading from keychain. Yeah, okay, that's correct. Failed, no exact matches and call to initializer. Cool, yeah, this is expected to fail. We don't have anything in here yet. So now that we're compiling, what's the best way to make one of these? Guess we could just start playing around a little bit. User ID, just make a new one. First name, sample, samples, I guess. And then here, do we want like a real refresh token or a fake one? I guess the refresh token doesn't quite matter here. But the access token, we do want a real one of these. Maybe in our login test, we have a fixture we can be inspired by. Oh, we don't have a login test. Well, we have an FQ session token. Let's see. Not sure if we're going to keep this or not. Just kind of sketching out what this might look like. What's the issuer claim? think that's it. Oh, so here we need JWT kit. And remember, importing JWT kit here really messed up the some stuff. Let's see if it's a little bit happier this time around. Command A, Control I. Oh, missing argument label. Thank you, Xcode. Call can throw. Yeah, and I bet this will fail because we didn't give it any keys. Yeah. Let's see, what am I debating in my head? I don't want to spend too much time making a fixture. I don't want to have a fixture that's terrible. These fixtures will change as the app changes. Fixtures can get stale. What else am I thinking of? I'm thinking about how I misspelled my name. Also thinking about how we imported this here. Do our previews still? Oh no, this is in the fixtures. We're not in the test actually. Okay. Oh wow, iTunes crashed. Isn't that amazing? Okay. Let's try a different playlist. Yeah, if I get too carried away here, then I need a token. Although I do have this freshly signed thing here. Oh, because I have a token fixture. Okay, perfect. Whew. Let's use one of those. Does this need to throw? Yeah, so let's force it. Let's rename this to access token. Cannot convert. Oh, right. Returns the key set it was signed with, just in case. But we can ignore that for now. And run Command U again. Build failed, nice. And this is a certain nil failed. What? We don't want to assert nil. I guess we actually want to assert not nil and possibly do some matches. And I guess because it's been freshly re-verified, we don't need to do anything with the verifier stub. But I guess we will need an expired one. Oh, wait, we have that up here. Yeah, we have the always failing verifier. Perfect, okay. Let's see, do we want to do some matches on here? I guess we could match these two. Conforms to equatable. Cool. Are there any other tests we need to do on the iOS side? I think we might be good until like start getting some feedback from folks. Again, this is the sample app. It's on GitHub to check out. And the plan is, we'll be making more apps using this to kind of test the boundaries of our new library. And we're going to use a few sample apps to sort of pull out stuff that it's going to be helpful for making our own sign in with Apple apps, or apps that use sign in with Apple. That's not really a main feature of an app. Tests for current auth controller. And let's go over to our, yeah, I know that's failing. Where's the sample app? FQ auth sample iOS. Are these tests passing? They are, okay. And we'll see how this one goes in a little bit. Cool. So while that's running, let's head back over to the server side, and we have some scheduled jobs we need to write. So let's close the iOS app, and let's open recent FQauth. And we'll let Swift Package Manager take its sweet old time. Apple Watch is telling me it's time to stand. I think that's a good idea. I'll be back in a few seconds. Be right back. Thanks for sticking around. Hey, welcome back. Thanks for sticking around. Looks like SPM has caught up with itself. So let's run Command U, see if our tests are passing. They should be, but it's always nice to get the build going locally. And I can talk about what we need to do here. And I think I have a diagram for this. Yes, this is the one. So we're going to have a nightly job, because every night we're allowed to ask Apple, is this person still alive? And Apple will tell us. Yeah, validate Apple ID, Apple say yes or no, and then we can mark refreshed, or we can mark the account as deactivated. And look at all those tests go. Yay. Okay. Let's see, do I have any current jobs in here yet? I have migrations, I have commands. I think I definitely want to make a command out of this also. Let's see, here's my queues. We haven't configured any jobs yet. I think these are the two. Let's see, where should we stick these? I guess these are, at least this one is a job that talks to Apple. Should it live under Apple with the Apple client? I guess it would use the client. Oh, I do have a, oh, these are one-off jobs. I guess we'll stick it here, and we can always reorganize it later. And I think this is us. Let's see, do we, I didn't keep the diagram up. Yeah, this is from the app to the server, and this is from the server to Apple, and they both start with the same name. Okay, yeah, so we have one job that gets everything that needs to be refreshed. Then we have a job that gets on-queued for each ID. I'm a little surprised by that. I wonder if we are we not allowed to ask Apple for too many things at once? Because otherwise, I mean, say we have like 1 million users, we're going to be making 1 million requests to Apple. That doesn't seem exactly right. Let's see if we can look at Apple's documentation. No, I don't want to get started. I have started already. I want documents. Maybe it's under resources. For websites. How about for servers? I think this is it. After your app receives users' information, you can verify their associated identity token with the server to confirm the token isn't expired and ensure it hasn't been tampered with. For information about retrieving the identity token, yeah, this once a day thing, this is what I'm trying to do. I guess this isn't something that we're doing. I guess I should add this as a possible note to look into this. Put that over in a new tab. Yeah, so I guess it is just kind of one per. Okay. I guess I did actually research this, and my diagram is correct, it looks like. Yeah, because there's only room for one client ID. Okay. So back here inside of Xcode, there's the refresh token job, and then there's going to be the kickoff refresh token jobs, schedule job, something like that. What would be a good name for that? I don't want to just make it plural because I don't know. I guess we could start with that. Something like that. On queue refresh token job scheduled job. Oh, that's so bad. So otherwise, and they're just I don't know. Well, let's go with this for now. Import queues schedule job, and then we'll ask Xcode for some autocompletes. Cannot find scheduled job in scope. Do I need to import queues as well? There we go. Yeah, because I think what I want to do is, do I have an example in any of these other ones? This is kind of what I'm talking about, but not exactly. Like, the job, it just manages the context, but then we have something separate. Here it's a static method, which is maybe not the prettiest, but it's what we have here, that does the actual stuff, and this is like ready to be refactored out. It's not refactored out now, but it's ready to be refactored out. Delete sign in with Apple account. Yeah, maybe we need like a tasks folder for things like this. Like jobs are clearly like part of like a jobs framework, but task could be run by like a command line command, or by like a scheduled job or something. and they should be a little bit easier to test, I guess. So if we had something like schedule refresh token job. Ooh, but then that ends with job task. It would have like the user ID, for example. Probably not, but like just off the top of my head, and then like do it. Yeah, if I do this, then they all have like kind of the same name, which is definitely going to cause problems when someone's trying to debug something in a hurry, which is when debugging happens. If there's something on fire and we want to optimize for that, we want to have a usable code base for when there's a fire. For when there's some catastrophic business event happening and something needs to get fixed in a hurry. Hey, Tukes, welcome back. Good to see you again. We're talking about names for these types. Schedule jobs for refreshing token. Tuke says best iOS streamer on Twitch with a few eyeglasses emojis. Thank you so much. We'll throw some emojis back at you, I guess. Let's see. Funny you should say iOS. We just finished iOS for the day and we're on to Vapor now for the server side of our sample project. Oh, actually, this is the main project. It's not the sample. And I'm having a hard time naming these things. So we have refresh. We gotta just sketch this out. We have refresh token job, and that has a user ID and it calls Apple. Then we have something that schedules these. Schedule those. And that gets all user IDs that need to be refreshed and calls on queue. And I guess we're talking about, because we might have like a command to kick this off from the command line, or any like a Heroku one-off, what are those things called? Heroku task, I forget what they're called off the top of my head. We want a command to do that. Where is it? Here it is. Command to schedule those things. And even then, this, we were thinking about maybe pulling out like a task. But yeah, naming the task is difficult. And I guess what we did here in the sign in with Apple account deleted job, when Apple gives us an account that got deleted, like we get out of the queue context right away, and we have the static method, which is a lot easier to test. Yeah, maybe this is an okay modeling of it, because why? Because it shows that this is like tied with this, and it's not really reused anywhere else yet. See, we don't need these return statements. So going back to where did I put those notes? Here. Yeah, maybe it's okay if this is just a static method for now. Okay, so then what are these names going to be? I guess refresh token job, that's pretty straightforward. This should be a yeah, we had like on queue refresh token jobs schedule job. Like, that's way too much of a mouthful. On queue refresh token job scheduled job. What's the thing that determines all the refresh token jobs that we need to run and on queues them? Refresh token jobs. I guess we could talk about more about the requirement. You could say gather accounts that need refreshing scheduled job. That's not that great of a name either. It's all really long. Let's keep going. Let's put this underneath. Bruce Leaf redeemed Hydrate for 300 tokens. Thank you so much. Cheers. Hope you're having a great Monday. How did your hackathon go, by the way? Let's put this in an actual text editor. Did win. Oh, didn't win, but won in my heart. Had a lot of fun. Oh, congrats. I want to ask what your project was. Not sure if those are ND8 or not, or whatever. What would be another name for this? Who schedules the schedulers? I don't know. That's really cool. You had fun. That's the best part. Schedule refresh token jobs. Scheduled job. Thanks, says Bruce Leaf. The theme was gamification. I think that as much as I can say. Oh, right on. Refresh token job, schedule job. Does this need a sign in with Apple prefix? Schedule. What's a name for accounts that need refreshing? Stale accounts? They're not exactly stale, because we're allowed to refresh every day, so we'll have to take a break from this naming. I'm not really sure what to call it. I know I don't like this really long name though. Just like this idea of a task for now. Let's see, which one should we do first? I guess the on queuing. So let's make a test for it. And then what do we import? Let's just grab everything. Do I need postcards here? Maybe. Final class. Oh my goodness. So I guess we could say does nothing when there's no accounts. We could say, just to kind of sketch out a few tests while they're in my mind. Does nothing when there's no accounts that need refreshing. And then on queues jobs for accounts that need refreshing. Yeah, I think that's kind of our little plan here. Let's see, so it does say when there's no accounts, so yeah, we could call run with the queued context, but what was nice about the other tests that we did is, well, especially for the ones that on queued something, yeah, we called like the static method on it and used that to test. And in addition, yeah, these request tests, you were able to get the jobs off the queue and inspect it. So we definitely want to do something like that again. So I guess for starters, for this one, we called it the static method on this guy was delete sign in with Apple account. This one was update email, remove email. Oh, we're back to naming something already. Static func. I like descriptive names. This is a little much. But it's what I have for right now, I guess. And I guess this needs an event loop right now. For now, it'll just return. And this will just get the event loop off the context. Yeah, so these tests, they set up a whole app? They did, in fact. Let's go ahead and copy some paste over. I don't think we need to sign in quite yet. App.event loop, I guess, for now. Yeah, so I guess this does nothing when there's no accounts. I guess we need a little bit more to have an actual test here. Guess we want to assert that there's no jobs on queued. So I'll come over here and get the queues off the job and show that it's nil, I guess. Cool. And then there's nothing when there's no accounts that need refreshing. I mean, I guess that's going to be the same. We just need to set up an account, I guess. If we skip ahead a little bit, we can get some stuff off the next job. I guess for this one, we would want to have maybe 2 accounts that need refreshing. For here, we'd want to like sign in an account and have it not need refreshing. Yeah, so let's create a user. And sure, let's have an Apple ID. I mean, this will pass kind of vacuously, I guess. So here, let's have like 2, I guess. So I guess we need to write a little bit more code now to get these tests to actually start passing or failing as we would more like to expect them to. And I guess before we do that, I need to kind of refresh my memory on what the sign in with Apple model looks like. Yeah, so we have attempted refresh we have attempted refresh result. So yeah, I think we can set these up a little bit so that this will work. Let's see, close that, close that. Is there anything else open? Okay. Let's see, I guess we don't exactly have a find by on here. Oh, we do. Find by Apple user ID. app.db. Which means we need a try here. And then we want to, I guess, update it. Do I have a need refreshing function on this thing? I have is active. Oh, I do. I do have should attempt to refresh. And I should probably make a test around this. Let's see. Yeah, what happens if I run this? This I'm expecting a failure, and so we'll need to write some code to make this pass again. Cool. So let's go ahead and search. So this will need the database, and I'm going to check how I did that in over here. just passes in a database. And what is the payload here? Oh, it's just it's a structure, okay. So now we can pass in these things instead. We can pass in the logger of, did these make their own loggers? Oh, they just got the logger off of the context. Context.logger, and the database will be the context.app.database, I believe. Okay, so now we need to import Fluent Postgres driver, perhaps? Yes. So then we need to ask for all of the sign in with Apple models that need refreshing. And we don't really have a function for that, and that would be great right here. So I think here we should definitely detour to writing tests. Well, let's make that at least the compiler happy first by just returning so again under Apple, I guess. Do some sign in with Apple model. And did I capitalize it? Looks like I did. Let's see, import FQ auth server. Final class sign in with Apple model tests. Oh, import XC test, I guess. Okay, so let's set up an app as we do in all these other tests. And I guess we can sign in somebody. Guess should not attempt refresh when it's a new user, and so for that we would say xct assert false on what's your problem? What do we have to import? Just Vapor? Okay. This is going to be so yeah, I guess we'll load up, we'll sign in someone, we'll get their sign in with Apple model, and then assert false on it, right? And we can kind of take from the test we were just writing back here. Take all of this, actually. Why am I not getting an auto completion? Cannot find. Oh, it should be at testable. And we can XCT unwrap here. And I think that means we move the try outwards a little bit. I've seen some arguments. So this is back in this test. I guess we didn't make the compiler as happy as I remembered. So what does it need? It needs, all of these things. Something like that. Really need a better name than this. So let's go ahead and copy this in again. Oh, I see. And one more down here. Just copy paste that over. Yeah, the name is like so long, like you can't even like read what it does. Well, maybe you can, but I can't. And the idea is that when there's a production bug, we want it to be as easy as possible to read when we're under duress. Okay, so now if we run this, did it? What was the... I see that it's red, but I don't see where the error is. Because this test runs. Oh, duplicate key. Oh, I didn't reset the database. That'll do it. You're saying test completed. I don't think you started again. There we go. Let's see, do we have a find by the user ID perhaps? Oh my god, these are so long. Yeah, I really do want to make a helper. Find by user ID, user ID. Yeah, then we can paste this into here. And it says it has too many parentheses, maybe this one. Should attempt refresh when new user is over a day old. And so here, I guess we can kind of fake the date that we're asking. Say date.time interval since now is, what is it, 86400. Let's add plus 60 to be safe. And this should be true. And what's the, oh, missing the label, that's fine. Oh, oops, deleted too much. Let's run it again. Now if I'm minus 60, it fails. Fascinating. I guess because it's not a day old yet. It's the same exact setup. I wonder if this makes it harder or easier to read. Because we can put like a comment here. Or I mean, I guess we could move this upstairs to here for user ID, user model.id value. I guess we can save this as well. So then this all deletes. And then, yeah, we'll rename those in a second. Should not attempt refresh when user is just under a day old. And that will be this one. I'll change this back to plus, and these should all pass. And then we have the comment in the test name. Oh, we need a copy in the variable name, and this file should be passing. Let's see. Oh, we got a failure. Oh, I swapped it by accident. Not interesting. Cool. So what are the other branches of this method that we should be aware of? I mean, one thing I'm noticing is that this is a function that's in code, right? I'm kind of thinking maybe this should be like a database query, because if this is in code, then we have to we have to load up each user, and that's a lot. um, let's see, is this called anywhere yet? No, we're just writing tests for this. We're the only ones that are using it. I guess this kind of does reflect the logic, though. I feel like, yeah, I'm testing this method, but the way that I would be using this method doesn't exactly make sense. Yeah, I saw a method that I thought I would need to use, and I started testing it, and that's I wouldn't call it wasted work. Just it's not the kind of, didn't get us to where I was hoping we would get to. I mean, like, instead, what if we had let's call this potato for now. What if we had a test that said something like CWA model dot gather models that need to be refreshed with Apple. And that was like a list. Probably an event loop future, because I haven't converted this code base to async yet. Yeah, at least after we get to the first alpha release. We're getting really close. Then we could assert on like what's in this list and what's not in this list. And there's got to be a better way to say this. Gather models that need to be refreshed with Apple. Let's see, I guess it's been about an hour. I need to stand up again. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Maybe that'll get some ideas while standing up. Thanks for sticking around. I'll be right back. Hey everybody, welcome back. Just wanted to, before we get back to the code, just wanted to read a little bit. We have the Creative Act of Being by Rick Rubin. Page 1. He says, everyone is a creator. Those who do not engage in the traditional arts might be wary of calling themselves artists. It's in italics. They might perceive creativity as something extraordinary or beyond their capabilities. A calling for the special few who are born with these gifts. Fortunately, this is not the case. Creativity is not a rare ability. It is not difficult to access. Creativity is a fundamental aspect of being human. It's our birthright, and it's for all of us. Creativity doesn't exclusively relate to making art. We all engage in this act on a daily basis. To create is to bring something into existence that wasn't there before. It could be a conversation, the solution to a problem, a note to a friend, the rearrangement of furniture in a room, a new route home to avoid a traffic jam. What you make doesn't have to be witnessed, recorded, sold, or encased in glass for it to be a work of art. Through the ordinary state of being, we're already creators in the most profound way, creating our experience of reality and composing the world we perceive. In each moment, we are immersed in a field of undifferentiated matter from which our senses gather bits of information. The outside universe we perceive doesn't exist as such. Through a series of electrical and chemical reactions, we generate a reality internally. We create forests and oceans, warmth and cold. We read words, hear voices, and form interpretations. Then, in an instant, we produce a response. All of this in a world of our own creation. Regardless of whether or not we're formally making art, we are all living as artists. We perceive, filter, and collect data, and curate an experience for ourselves and others based on this information set. Whether we do this consciously or unconsciously, by the mere fact of being alive, we are active participants in the ongoing process of creation. To live as an artist is a way of being in the world, a way of perceiving, a practice of paying attention, refining our sensitivity to tune in to the more subtle notes, looking for what draws us in and what pushes us away, noticing what feeling tones arise and where they lead. Attuned choice by attuned choice, your entire life is a form of self-expression. You exist as a creative being in a creative universe, a singular work of art. That's chapter 1 from the Creative Act by Rick Rubin. Good stuff. Oh, before we get back to coding, I should turn the light on. Okay, so right before the break, we had written some tests about if signing with Apple model, which records our sign in with Apple data about a user. We had a model on that. We had a function on that. Should we attempt to refresh? Then, then we're thinking, like, wouldn't it be easier if we just had a method on signing with Apple model that gathered all those things? And I wonder if we can query with like a callback. what is this? app.db.postgres. Yeah, we'd have to like load each one into memory. It's not really something that I want to put us through, or the database, or the app server. So yeah, I think this should be a SQL query, but we can test it in Vapor, which is going to be really neat. Now, does that mean that we're going to keep this method? I don't know. Maybe we should delete it. But only after we we write this, because at least it'll be a note for us now of what we want it to do. So you call it verified. I'm really having a hard time with names today. All of these have been like massively long names. Not sure if I should apologize for that or what. Oh, and this might be a what's the word? A cursor, not an array. Because if there's like, once this grows up to like 1 million people, let's see, how do we do that in Vapor? Docs dot, oops, not docs dot, docs dot Vapor dot codes. There we go. Fluent query. How do we get a cursor? Oh, that's nice. So yeah, let's see because what does this return? Am I allowed to return over here? Bruce Leaf says hacker hooky engage. Yeah, we're in cozy mode now. It was so hot earlier today. It was like 50 degrees. I went on a nice walk in the park and it was gorgeous. Got some nice photos, but now it's chilling out just a little bit. We're down to 46 degrees. Yeah, so maybe with chunking. And if this is a handle, then we just want to on queue here, but then that makes it not so unit testable. I am conflicted. Result of call is unused. Yeah, so this returns an event loop future. Let's see, I do want to keep this kind of unitable. Oh, I guess what we could do is we could make a query. We could unit test that query. Let me sketch out what I mean. We could have a query like that does all the filtering here, and then this. Then we'll have something else that calls chunk on it. Yeah, so this is not going to return a list. We're going to return a, I guess like a fluent query. I'm not sure what's called. Query builder, perhaps. What does this need? Can I say self? Self or self can only appear in the top level of a method result type. Okay. Cannot convert expression of type. Oh, okay. So does this have to go here as well? What's the point of capital self then if like you can never use it? I thought it was an alias. Okay, cool. So now if we can test this query. Ew, gross. Are we really gonna do this in Fluent? We might. Bruce Lee says self is the type and self is the instance of something. So self equals equatable. It's valid. Right, but like right here, it wouldn't allow me to say. I can't say self like this. Self can only appear at the top level of a method result type. And then here it cannot convert. So like these two have to match. Like they're not exactly aliases or something. I guess the way I had been using it a while back was I would use it like internally in the methods of the type. So that if I ever renamed it, I wouldn't have to rename as many as many places. But I guess that's gone. Oh, and if I say this is all, okay, yeah, I don't actually want to do that, because I think this chunk thing is only on a query builder. Yeah, it's on query builder. Okay, so needle pulling thread. This method name is so long. Okay, so coming back to let's close a bunch of these other ones. We're still back in the model tests, I guess. Models that could be verified. I don't know. I'm having such a hard time with names today. Query equals this. And does that need the... Yeah, that does need the database. Okay, so we'll pass in the database, app.db.psql. And what is your concern? Oh, it needs the name DB. Okay, sure. So we say query.all.weight. Yeah, because in the test, we don't care about chunking. We're not going to have like 10 million rows in a unit test. We're just going to have like 5 tops, probably just 1 or 2 really. We can say models.count. We can say this is 1. I mean, this is just going to pass because our query is just returning everything in the world. I mean, I guess we can use this little helper method to verify that our query worked. And then here should we get a test failure, and then we can start implementing this. This looks a little fancy. I want to clean this out a little bit. Actually, can we do it all in line? Can we do the unwrap here? XCT unwrap. And then we don't need this. We'll put a try in there. Cool, okay. Not have to do with any weird optionals. Okay, so back in the implementation, let's bring this code down here so we can see it next to each other. Yeah, and I guess passing in the date is kind of handy, right? Let's see, so I guess we want to query where we want to filter where what is it? It's going to be backslash dot it's like status or refresh result. Where is it? Maybe it's dollar. Attempted refresh result. Conform to queryable property. It's not a queryable property? What makes this not queryable? What's this thing have to say for itself? Marks a property as being queryable, meaning that it represents exactly one real database field. The database table will contain a physical field corresponding to the property and will be the only field that does so. Yeah, that's the state of... That's how this field works. Request description, appropriate method, encoding a value. The existence of this method implies that any two identically typed instances of a property must encode their values into queries exactly the same fashion. Whoa. Yeah, this is why I really get weirded out by ORMs. It's like, just give me the SQL. Let's see, can we make a query builder out of straight SQL? It doesn't seem like it. Let me try to remember how to do this. I think I have to cast it as a different kind of database. Let me check in here. Self.database.execute. Yeah, it's a SQL database. Okay. Yeah, maybe we should move this here. But then we don't get a query builder then, do we? Crap. And I really do want a query builder here, because I think that will make testing it using it easier if we can just add a dot chunk on the end of it like that. Okay, so one more time, let's try to get attempted refresh result to conform to queryable property, which is going to be right up here. Non-class type cannot conform to class property, any property. Oh my god, are you serious? Well, how am I supposed to use an enum then? That's very surprising. Model field filter. What is one of these filters? So it's a key path, the method, where field is a queryable property. So this was just puts us back in the same spot then. There's got to be a way to filter by an enum value. That's oh, well, I guess I did make it. It's not necessarily a it's not necessarily a vapor enum. Yeah, let's see. What are our options here? Self.all. Yeah, we might have to get a little creative here. And like get stuff out of this with like an on output, I guess. Or on row, really. String does not conform to type SQL expression. Yeah, so this is not a query builder anymore. Dang it. I mean, we could kind of make our own chunked things, perhaps. Or like maybe map this into like a query builder. Let's see. Query builder has the query and it has the database. And then this has that chunk thing, the all thing. And it does like all the building during the all. So yeah, query builder idea is kind of not here anymore. So I guess we could have this take a callback, I guess. It'll like return back one sign in with Apple model at a time. And then yeah, let's move forward with that. Yeah, so we can have our query in here. Unfortunately, it's not compatible with Fluent. And we can make a sign in with Apple model from the row. So does this mean we have to decode it by hand? There's no idea of a Postgres model, it seems. So we're like on our own? Yeah, I guess so. Oh, but we can decode it as, okay. We can decode model. Okay, whew. I'm like, I really don't want to write decoding code. Qual can throw. Sure can. Does that mean this can throw? I think if we can't decode it, this method has to just kind of skip it. We don't even have an ID. Escaping closure requires, okay, so we need at escaping. Undefined symbol. So these are failures in the test. So if I command U, okay, cool. Yes, this is all bonkers now. I guess we'll collect an array of these for the sake of this test. And what's this person's issue? Oh yeah, SQLite database. And cannot find SQLite database, or SQL database rather. So we need to import Postgres, I think. Yeah, so this just becomes query.wait. Unimplemented. Oh, right, because we didn't actually write anything in the query yet. Okay. I feel like they should maybe be in its own something or other. Like we have this little class here for all of that. This is gonna get large. See what sign in with Apple. Ready for reverify. Reverify. And was this a class? It's just a struct. Cool. I guess for now we're sticking with this callback idea. If I see this is void, does it stay? Okay. And this had a SQL database on it. Yeah. And we can delete this. And does that rebalance? Need one more. Okay. Oh, escaping. Okay. So we can make a new test file here. Or should we use the same one for now? Let's use the same one for now. Although one thing I did like that we did with the other one is we had multiple init methods, which was really nice for using it in different contexts. So I'm going to steal that as well. Because now we can just say, we can just pass in the application here, self.app, and we're all good. And then this is the same callback for now. And this deletes. And maybe we can use $0 here. I guess these are chunks of 1 essentially. And is that okay? I think that might be okay for our use case. I guess, you know, as usage scales up, we'll find out, I guess. Okay, so let's stick it out here. Or at the very least, we can figure out chunking later. Let's see, so select star from sign in with Apple, where attempt to refresh result equals initial. Let's start with that and see if we can decode or if we get any errors. Assert true failed. Did we get any? I was kind of expecting that to like not decode or something. I guess let's put a breakpoint here and run it again. Okay, I was not expecting that. Okay, so it decodes, and then I guess the failure is that we have one, but it just this should be oh, I see, because it's fresh. It's this. Okay, so should we make a new test file? Yeah, I think so. Siwa ready for reverify. See, this name is getting a little bit better. Start off with some really long names, and this one's a slightly better version so far. So let's copy this over. And let's copy the top over. And this is the ready for verify repo tests. Cool. So let's make another test. I guess we can just kind of copy through here. Test should not refresh when new user is just under a day old. So I guess we can like load it up, edit the date, and then save it again. Siwa model dot created at equals Siwa model dot save on app dot database dot wait. And then I guess this again. And wait a minute. This should be false, right? Oh, and what's your problem? Is immutable? Oh, okay. Yeah, so created a test user. Does this have a... Nope, does not have a created at on it. Oh, let's run the file. Test succeeded. It's true again. Should attempt refresh. This should be false. Should not attempt refresh when new user. Should attempt refresh when new user is over 1 day old. So the two that were passing before, I think, should fail now, and this one will Or maybe the should attempt is wrong. Is it running? Wait, so these are false now. Okay, that's weird because I feel like it said the opposite a moment ago, but this is what I want it to do. Oh, okay. Cool, so we can continue adding more cases in, which will motivate the SQL query. Yeah, so if attempted refresh was nil and its success or failure, then it should be true also. Success and attempted refresh date is empty. Nil cannot be assigned. Oh, it's supposed to be like a timestamp. There we go. Cool, now we have to write some code. Oh, there's other code that we need to write too. Well, let's see, let's close some stuff. This should say tests at the top and the file name. Yeah, these just shouldn't appear. They shouldn't appear in the results at all. and current timestamp is other way around, right? Am I allowed to do this? I guess the compiler will tell me. What's the name of the field? Where's the C1 model? Syntax error at or near parentheses. Oh, I think it's just current timestamp without the parens. Timestamp with time zone plus integer. Let's see, I guess we could get Google Postgres over a day old query. Oh, look at that. That's so cool. Postgres is so cool. I guess it's like an interval time. You can just say it. Oh, that's so cool. And which test failed? No, actually that's correct. These are actually correct failures. Oops. My test was wrong, not the code. Oh, and I guess this should be created at, not the other one for this. This is for when it's initial. Okay, let's stop the test. Let's rerun this file. Drink some water. Oh, I'm so bad at spelling. Let's try that again. Yeah, I'm doing underbars for column names in Postgres. Pass. And here, 0 does not equal to 1. We should have 3 passes. Okay, cool. And then this is what's next. This is the when it's success. So yeah, so we need to do the right things for success. So we can do, I believe it's called union. Or something, Postgres union. Oh, you just say union in between them. Okay. I hope the parentheses are allowed because I think that helps the readability. Something like that. Cool, and we can do the other one. So when success, when failure. And run this file again. Is it running? Xcode, talk to me. Okay, now it's running. Oh, we got a failure. Isn't that interesting? Do I need like parens around the or something? Now they're both failing. Yeah, so null and failure, and then let's see, if we take this line off, put this in, do we at least get this one to pass again? No, they're both still failing. Wow. Select star. Where is success? Did I misspell success? Let's look at our migrations. Let's see, that would be maybe the sign in with Apple migration. Yeah, the defaults to initial, and success and failure are the other two types. Can I look at the, let's see, can I run this and look at the state of the database? Let's see. Yes, I do want the update FQauth test. Sign in with Apple. So you have the email, you have some Apple ID, you have the token. Attempted refresh is null. Attempted refresh result is failure. So that's exactly how I'd expect it to look like. It's just not being selected by our query. I guess we could run our query in. Oh, because that was the failure one. Okay. Well, regardless, we can try running this part. Put you to the side. Queries. No, SQL. There we go. Didn't get anything. So if we do that, is null not the right way to say? No, it looks like it's null. Attempted refresh at. Still not getting it. Oh, it's is null. Oh my god. Run current. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Yeah, I guess if it's null, I guess any kind of null I would want to refresh. Oh no, not if it's initial. Oh, that's what we test over there. Okay. Okay, let's run this file again. Cool. And I spelled failure wrong. Okay, so the next test be, again, we're kind of modeling this method here. As a query to get all of them all at once. And I guess do the same thing with success, I guess. Oh, I didn't rename it up here. Cool, so we get to update our code. I guess we can add another union for now. We can say I wonder if I can, I'm not sure how to do like a null thing. We could do this or null here. Well, we can simplify that after we get this to pass. Cool, so they all succeeded, so now we can play around with it. And then if that's true, we can remove this one. Ooh, I have a syntax error. Oh, I have an extra close paren. That is true. Yes, so we successfully refactored that, and we should do a should not attempt unsuccessful unless refresh was under a day ago. Cool. Is there any other tests we should write for this? I guess the same thing with failure, right? Come on, Xcode. Here we go. And then I think we can delete this, but maybe we'll wait up on that. Oh, we swapped over to the server. So let's open that repo up. So we have, we got quite a bit done today. However, this ended up being a bigger chunk of work than I was expecting. I scheduled like this and the next task for today, and we got maybe halfway, a quarter of the way through this. Estimates are fun. Let's see. So what did we do and what is left? Extracted sign in with Apple. Ready for reverify repo. Was this our only commit today on the server? Yeah, our last one wasn't since last month. I guess we were doing a lot on the iOS side. So that we can start making calls to Apple. Yeah, so what did we do? We started creating a scheduled job to find the accounts that we need to re-verify. I misspelled that. We extracted a repo and wrote some SQL and tests around which accounts to re-verify. Around finding still need to implement and test the job, and probably other things too. Scheduled job and the job that does the re-verifying. And look into chunking the results. Perhaps with a limit 20, and then keep running until there's none left. Ooh, that could get funky. Let's just take off the guess. Cool. Well, it is 5 o'clock, and here's my schedule. So I'm out tomorrow. But I will be back Wednesday to continue on this. Looks like we'll be ready for a kind of beta release of this by the end of the week. But going by how slow today went, maybe not. Yeah, thank you so much for joining me. I'm here weekdays, as you can see, at 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Time, working on this open source authentication server. We're signing with Apple for iOS, and the goal is to have a library we can reuse on iOS, middleware we can reuse on our Vapor servers. Those are, of course, optional, but helpful to get up and running. And of course, the main authentication server to authenticate our users with. Do something tonight that an AI can never do. Desire something. Yeah, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you Wednesday. And also, you can feel free to join the Discord to hang out and talk more about the open source projects, where they're all up on GitHub, fullqueuedeveloper.com/GitHub, or github.com/fullqueuedeveloper. I'm pretty sure they both go there. Good night.